Good morning. It's February 2020, 2022. Too many, lots of two. And we are in Jerusalem again. As you can see, there are more tourists, although those tourists are Israelis, but you can arrive now to Israel, and from the March 1st, it's going to be even easier. Then if you want to know what to do and what not to do, always go into my Facebook account, but I'm talking about my professional Facebook, Zahi Shaked Israeli Tour Guide. You will see it at the description of that video, and you can always ask me for the link of it, and I will give it to you. And you will see everything that you must do before you're coming to Israel. But now everyone, the one who took the vaccine and the one who didn't, everyone can arrive to Israel. Then you can see the walls of the city, and it's such a beautiful day. I know that there's a storm now in Europe, but here it's lovely. מה שלומך? בסדר גמור. One of the salesmen of the city. It's so beautiful to see my friends, the tour guides that are arriving to Jerusalem, and this time with tourists. Sadly, I don't know why. My first tourist will be in about 2 weeks from now, but it's okay. I'm dedicated that lovely tour that will take you to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, but totally from a non-touristic way. Then prepare for that. And I'm dedicated it to Maribeth Gross. Maribeth Gross. And this is the Jerusalem cross that she asked me to bless. And the Jerusalem cross is, we'll talk about it later on, but now we can see Jaffa and the fortress of King Herod. And he built it here because it's the highest place of the city. And although you can see that the cars are entering to the city, until 1892, it wasn't like that, it was closed. But then the German Kaiser, entered the city, and he said, I am not entering the city by walking. My wife must use their carriage. And from that moment, we are suffering of cost. And when you are traveling around the whole city of Jerusalem, be careful, please. Then Jaffa Gate, mainly because it actually leads to Jaffa, which is that way. We're talking about marathon. You want to do that? It's at the end of March. Now, let's enter through the gate, which was a very important gate to Jerusalem, because most of the tourists arrive from Jaffa port. And you will see that to enter the gate is not easy. First of all, so many guards around it. Secondly, look at the heavy doors. And then, you cannot go straight into the gate. You have to turn left, which makes it even harder to the soldiers. But here we are. Welcome to the old city and Maribeth. It's such an... I feel that I'm actually honored to do the tour for you. Maribeth is a nurse from America, and she is actually taking care of COVID patients. This is something important. Now, this is the map of Jerusalem. You can see that we do have 4 quarters. This is the Armenian, and we enter from Jaffa Gate. We will go through that area, which is part of the Armenian quarter, and we will end the tour at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which is the Christian quarter. Together, there's another 2 quarters. The biggest one is the Muslim quarter and the Jewish quarter. And you can see the Temple Mount of Haram al-Sharif here as well. You can see how big it is. Then, promise to take you through a non-touristic tour and about the Jerusalem cross. A Jerusalem cross is a symbol of being in Jerusalem. The big cross is Jerusalem itself, and the four others, the small ones, is actually whatever you want. It can be for Gospels. It can be 5 stigmatas, including the cross of Jerusalem. It can be everything, earth, wind, fire. But the idea is that Jerusalem is in the center of the universe. I'm blessing it in the city, even right now, then it's going to be priceless. And of course, I will send it to Maribeth. That's the idea. If you want to know how should you have that cross or different other crosses, I do have the Latin cross, the Greek Orthodox cross, and more. I want you just to go into the description of that video, and you will see the link of Buy Me Coffee, and through there you will get the information. If you won't find it, send it to me, and that cross will be blessed. I will take a video of, just like I'm taking the video of Maribeth, and I will send it to you before Easter time. Then you will have a present from Jerusalem. What you see here is a fortress. It's a fortress that King Herod built originally. Actually, it was built before that. He used it mainly because it's the highest place of the city and he could control everyone. And that is one of King Herod's duty. Someone might kill me, I must protect myself. And he did it here. The red roof building behind it used to be his palace. Today it's a police station. And the palace was close to the fortress. It could run straight to the fortress if something bad actually happened. It was used by everyone who controlled the city. For example, the lower part is from the Crusader time. The upper part or other parts are from the Muslim time. Then the same idea, controlling. Now I want you to see the Christ Church, because there's a wonderful bakery, excellent cakes, but we are turning left just before it, and it's to the right of the Christian Information Center, which is sadly still closed. I'm taking that road because it's usually non-touristic. I will be surprised to see tourists here. And it's a Maronite convent street. And let's say goodbye to Tower of David, which is a lovely museum, and the view from that tower is spectacular. Then let's enter together to the street. Together with your cross. And I must say, my aunt almost died from COVID, let's say 2 weeks ago. She is okay now. I saw so many videos of the doctors and nurses who took care of them. At the beginning, if you remember, no one could enter. No family member could enter to here. And just yesterday, they told us that for the last 2 years, 10,000 people died because of Corona, because of COVID. Then I can understand Maribeth. I can understand her strength. And I really adore nurses and doctors who didn't stop their work, and they actually worked even longer, in longer hours. You can actually say thanks to Maribeth in as a comment for that video, and I think Maribeth, please read it. I'm sure that my subscribers will actually write something. And if you didn't subscribe my channel yet, how dare you? I'm kidding. Please do that. I can hear a tour guide, Maronite Church, and look at that.
To go all the way back to the old city and to make
it's still closed.
I mean, they say Hope at 6.
No, she's not a tour guide.
Hope is really at 7.
Maronite
Still,
Christians
I'd like to come early.
from Lebanon. They have an amazing place with an excellent view of the Christian Quarter. I stayed there for like 1 or 2 nights. It's not so easy, but you can try. Maronite. And look at that. Look at the view. What you see here is the golden dome of John the Baptist Church, and around and behind it you can see the 2 gray domes of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And Maribeth, we are heading there. Look how beautiful it is. Maronite Convent Street. And we are leaving that street and turning left to St. Mark Street. If you saw it, and let's talk a little bit politics. Someone tried to delete the Arabic here and put a sticker of what can I say, almost a racist Jewish group, political group. And in the Muslim Quarter you will see the same thing, but the Muslims will try to delete Hebrew. Then instead of loving each other in that small city, there's a lot of it's not tension, but how should I tell you? I prefer that people will live with each other with love. There are conflicts, but for that, yeah, you can talk. That's why God gave us the mouth. In that area, you can find some youth hostels and simple but nice guest house as well. I try not to plan my tours for you, mainly because I'm getting some messages, as I believe, in the city and next to the city, and then I'm doing what I feel like I need to do. That's why when you are buying those crosses, I will be more than happy if you will tell me a little bit about yourself, because Maribeth did it, and it makes it more personal. Well, you can try to do that. Then we are living in a way the edge, at the end of the Armenian Quarter. To the left is the Christian Quarter, but if it's okay by you, I didn't plan it, but as you can see, I'm doing it. Let's climb up to the roof of the market and let's talk about the view of the city. Then we are at the corner of St. Mark Street and Habad Street. That's the way to the Jewish quarter. Low garbage. But we're climbing up through that ladder. Oh, stairs. A lot of the local people are using the roof for shortcuts. But I'm using it for the view. Let me show you that we are on top of the market. Okay, as you can see a little bit of it. We're gonna use it soon. And we are climbing up to there. We are now at the corner of the Armenian, the Christian, the Muslim, and the Jewish quarters. What a beautiful place. Now we started the tour at Jaffa Gate. Right there you can see the 3 flags. Do you want me to take a picture of you? Then let me just... And look at the view. Look how beautiful it is. Mount of Olives is a background. You can see... the motive... Then that is the white area there. It's the Jewish cemetery from the time of King David till now. The tower there is the Ascension Church, Maribeth. Jesus ascended into heaven, but he promised us to come back from the same place. Close to us, you can see the Dome of the Rock, which was the site of the Jewish temple, and now it's the place that, according to tradition, Muhammad ascended into heaven. And it's beautiful, isn't it? There's so many things to talk about it, but we are heading, see the 2 grey domes, to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. I didn't visit Jerusalem for like 1.5 weeks. I stayed with my family, and because of my aunt as well, I felt so bad. And but she's okay now. She's okay. We cannot visit her because she cannot breathe well, but she doesn't have COVID anymore. Then I'm happy. I'm sure that Maribeth is actually thinking about her too. She's now resting at her daughter's house. Now we are going back in the same path. We're going to use the stairs that you saw next to Chabad Street. Chabad is a Jewish organization, and you can see that the Jewish quarter is totally new, mainly because in 1948 the Jordanians conquered the city and destroyed the Jewish quarter. Then in 1967, when we came back, they built the Jewish quarter, but not before they excavate beneath it, and they found so many museums that will take you back to King Herod time, Jesus time. Look at how beautiful is that street. And sadly, it looks like it's going to be the last non-touristic street. We will enter now to David Street, which you can actually do that straight from Jaffa Gate. But for Maribeth, I decided to take a detour to bless her cross in other places as well. Then here we are, taking left. Difficult to see, David Street. See here, Muslims, Jews. I believe that the Muslim guy is heading to Al-Aqsa. The Jews are heading to the Western Wall, which is behind you. Tomorrow I will do another tour for you, and then I will enter to the Western Wall by your request. We will enter now to the Moristan Street, straight to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. If the signs are a little bit small for you, edit video, it might be that you're watching it through your telephone. That's why I'm repeating the names, and you can always watch it on your TV or at your computers. Then you will be able to see it better. Moristan is that area, and it's for Persian. Moristan means the hospital, and that was the area of the hospitaller hospital, the Crusaders who've been here at the 12th century. There's so many things to talk about it. Maybe I will actually prepare a tour according to the Crusaders. This is one of the entrances to the Moristan, and that is a beautiful new church from the 19th century, the end of the 19th century. It's a Lutheran church. It's called the Redeemer Church. To climb up to the roof, it's a great idea. I think the best view of Jerusalem, but there's no lift, no elevator. You must know it before you're doing it. And just to show you that you will see Jerusalem cross everywhere. Here it is. Symbol of Jerusalem, but it became to be the symbol of the Holy Land as well. That's a beautiful entrance to the Redeemer Church. Sadly, it's closed. I don't know why. It's supposed to be open. And I'm buying that cross from a Christian shop, Golden City Bazaar. The few that Johnny, then if you're looking for it, it's Golden City Bazaar. And just say hi to Father, just shalom. That's the father. The son is not there. Maybe he will be that later on. Look how beautiful is that. Another entrance to the Moristan. And we are reaching the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And I can see at least one big Arabic group entering the church. Church of the Holy Sepulchre. There are two entrances for us to the church. From here, from those stairs as well. And welcome to the most important holy site, the holiest site for the Christians, or most of them. This is the place that Jesus was crucified and then died, been buried, and after 3 days he resurrected. The church itself was established in the 4th century, but it's been destroyed a few times. What you see here is mainly from 11th century and up. I know that it sounds old, but there's older parts in the church, but not a lot. And it will be no difficult because you can see another group climbing up to the Golgotha. Until 2 weeks ago, I was the only one in the church. Now, as you can see, it's going to be more and more and more crowded. Then, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place, and crowded, started to be crowded. It looks like they are waiting in the line. Then instead of entering to the Golgotha, let me trick everything. Let me start from the other places. Oh, wait, it's actually standing. Just a moment, please. Let me climb up. It's not. Then we are climbing up to the Golgotha. I will try to be as quiet as I can now. I'm not going to be the only one, as I believe. Still almost the only one. This is the Golgotha. It belongs to Catholic and Greek Orthodox. And this is the difference between your churches to the Holy Land churches. First of all, it was built on top of one of the most important stories. And most of the churches are like that. Secondly, this church, not like your churches, belongs to everyone. Then you will find here Catholic, Greek Orthodox, Armenians, Coptic, name it, it's here. This is where they nail him to the cross. And here is the Pietà. You will see Mary with the spear in her heart, Mary, the suffering mother. And those two belongs to it's part of the Via Dolorosa, the way of the cross, and it's part of the Catholic area. At the other side, and don't worry, I will go and bless you there. On the other side, you will see the crucifixion place, and this is part of the Greek Orthodox Church. That's where Jesus was crucified. And later on, I will bless the cross at the exact spot of the crucifixion, which you can see now in front of you. To the right of Jesus, you can see John, who took care of the mother by the request of Jesus. And to the left, you can see Mary. On top of the cross, you will see the 4 letters in 3 languages. And this is the sin list of Jesus. Jesus from Nazareth, King of the Jews. He had actually been killed by the Romans, mainly because he was so accused that he was against the Roman regime. Then let's just wait for that big group will finish their tour here. And I will have a space for myself. It's amazing. There's still a line here, still a queue. Then I decided to stand with the queue. And you can see where they nailed Jesus into the cross. And I'm blessing it, Maribeth here as well. Look at the face of Jesus, face of the mother. And beautifully to see is that beautiful mosaic wall from mostly 19th century because the church being burned down. But here you can see a remain of the ascension of Jesus from the 12th century. Aha, old. The Pietà is there. You can go closer to there. That is where Mary stood when she saw the crucifixion. And later on, she actually held the dead body of his son. Now, a horrible story is that she knew that it will happen. When she came to the temple, Saint Simon was waiting for her, and he said, "Your son is different, and you will see him dead, and it will be like a spear will enter to your heart, and you will see the spear in Mary's heart, the Pietà." So here it is. Crucifixion is not so far away from here. We will reach it as well. This is the bedrock of the Golgotha. You can see Jesus on the cross and the four letters of his Jesus from Nazareth, King of the Jews. John is to the right and Mary is to the left. That belongs to the Greek Orthodox. We just went out from the Catholic area to the Greek Orthodox. It's strange, isn't it? Let's enter. That's the cross. This is the crucifixion side. You can see that I'm touching on the bedrock for you and blessing the cross with it. Just go outside. Even to leave the Golgotha, there's a line. I will wait. That we are already left the Golgotha, and you can see that it's started to be crowded here. After the Golgotha, after he died, they took his body by Joseph of Arimathea, and they purified him just like they're doing it to every Jew. And this is just enlightening stone, and it's starting to be crowded, even here. If you watch my videos like 2 weeks ago, you could see the difference. Maribeth, don't worry. Here it is. For me, it's a special place, mainly because the naked body of Jesus actually been here. And let's go to see the tomb. The tomb's supposed to be a cave, a burial cave of another Jew, Joseph of Arimathea, who gave Jesus his own tomb that was located next to the crucifixion plate. Crucifixion site. And here it is. This is the crucifixion site. And now we can understand why the tomb of Jesus was so close to it. And this is the tomb itself. Maribeth, I won't be able to go with a video to the tomb, but later on, at the end of the video, I will go and bless you too. We're looking for a cave, but it's not a cave. If it's not a cave, then maybe it's not a tomb. Then there are a few things that you must know. First of all, if someone didn't like Jesus, the best thing to do is to destroy his tomb. And that's what he did. He's been destroyed so many times. At the Crusade time, they built in Aedicula, kind of a chapel above it. But it's been destroyed this time by the Christians. It was burned down. The church was burned down in 1808, and it's destroyed. And what you see here is a structure from 19th century. And it includes two parts. The first chapel is, you can see the candlelight. Is the angel chapel. It took care that no one will steal the body. And the inner part, inner chapel, is the tomb itself. And again, I will bless it soon. But it's not a cave. And it doesn't look like a Jewish burial site. We will actually deal with it soon. But because the Greek Orthodox place is open, mainly because there are tourists now, we will enter first to it before they will close it. This is the cathedral church, the main church of the Greek Orthodox here. And if you're not Greek Orthodox, then let me tell you that there's always a wall of icons. And it will divide me as a disciple from God and the priest. Then most of the secret things will be down there. And only when the bread is holy, blessed by God, he will go out with it. You can see a beautiful chandelier of Jerusalem in heaven, 12 gates. But the most important thing in that chapel is that stone that that lady is now touching. According to what we believe, this is the center of the word. Now let me bless it at the center of the word. Later on, I will light candles for you, and this time I will do that here. Now about the tomb. Before I will continue, I must tell you that there is another site that actually tells you some story in Jerusalem. And this is at Damascus Gate, outside the walls of Jerusalem. Then what's happening here? At the 19th century, some of the Protestants who had no part of their church decided to look for a different place. They said Jesus was crucified outside the city, outside the wall, and this church is in the center of the wall. And they had some other reasons to believe that the garden tomb is their place. I'm not going in if it's true or not. It's not important for me. The idea that I got, or the message that I got from one of the garden tomb guys there, who guide there, is that it's so close to each other. Let them play, pray here, pray there, whatever they want, it doesn't matter. What is important is the story and that he was here in Jerusalem. But I'm going in, you can see here, Syrianic Church of Syria. Sorry, Coptic church, Coptic monk. And he's always smiling. And I'm entering to a place that, as you can see, it's empty. There's so many non-touristic sites in their church. And the wall that you see here is from the 4th century. Remember that I mentioned that most of the church that you saw, most of the facade is from the 11th, 12th century. Then this is from, that part is from the 4th century, built by St. Helen, Constantine. The room, who owns it? It's a question mark. Everyone will tell you a different story. There's a huge debate between the Coptic Ethiopians and Armenians, and that's why it looks so bad, isn't it? Really bad. But I enter to here because of that place. Let me use the camera and you will see it better. This is a real tomb, a tomb from the 1st century, from the time of Jesus. And that's how Jews used to be buried. You can see the niches there. That's where they put the body of the dead. That wall is not part of the cave. It's from a different time. I think it's from the 4th century. And if you remember that Jesus was buried in a tomb that no one used, is because of the Jewish burial system. They used to bury the dead. I'm talking about a rich Jew who could afford himself to build kind of a cemetery, a family cemetery, a family burial site. And let's say that if there are 5 niches, it's called kuchim in Hebrew, and even in English, but no one knows what kuchim means. And they used to bury the dead there, but what will happen to the, let's say, to the 6th month, if there are only 5 niches, they will take out the bones of the oldest tomb, and they will put it in a small box, and usually next to the tomb you will see kind of a storeroom. Jesus got a tomb that no one used before. Then if he got a tomb of Joseph of Arimathea, we just saw it, and you will see it soon again, then maybe this is the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea. But it shows you that it used to be a cemetery area at the 1st century. It means that it used to be outside the walls. Then in that case, I cannot say that the tomb that we saw there is not of Jesus. And why to believe that it's not from Jesus' time? I mean, the structure is not, but the location is, yes. Then here it is. Amazing, isn't it? And this is goodbye, Maribeth. Please tell Maribeth how brave she is, and if you want some more information, please don't hesitate. Write me via Facebook, Instagram, which you can see at the description, and via YouTube as well. Then see you. Bye bye.